first live stream in the sounding board, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a threesome today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Extra spicy only for the sounding board members.
You know how Mondays are.
Yup. Gonna get that threesome in on a Monday. Well, thank you all for joining. Hopefully, you are live with us. And if not, you can always repeat this later at any time that works for you. But I wrote this very long statement of what's going to be the changes of the sounding board. And we figured it would be a heck of a lot easier just to get on a call and talk them through, answer any questions if there are any, and, just have this that you could refer back to.
All right. So we have a few people joining, but we will keep this video up for, anybody's pleasure if you want to watch this threesome in action all the time. But first, let's go over just how our monthly events will be changing. So Julie, if you want to take that.
Sure. So instead of the Dateable after show in our mid-tier, what we will be doing now is we're going to be doing an office hours with Yue and I. And we actually piloted this last week and we had a great turnout, great event. Janice was there, so she can attest to it.
Yeah.
And we had some really great questions that people kind of brought in this group format. I want to say it's equivalent to group therapy, but we're obviously not licensed therapists. But it's cheaper than therapy. Group therapy with the quotes. But I think a lot of people walked away with some really good answers to questions. And even if they didn't have a question, being like, oh, yep, I've related to that hard, or I've been thinking about this topic too. And we just left on a really positive note, excited to tackle our love lives and, get ahead of it all. So this is an opportunity for all of you to kind of tune in, talk to Yue and I directly, get your answers questions answered. Wow, can't speak on a Monday. And then also get the insight of all the sounding board folks. So this really is your opportunity for a true sounding board. And yeah, I think this has worked so well in the past when we had these coffee chats with our top level tier that we just want to make this more accessible for everyone, especially as a lot of you are getting back into the dating scene, or maybe you're navigating a relationship that is coming out of different times that the world is gradually starting to reopen. So it's a really good time for us to kind of try to take some of this and move it into action.
And some of the feedback we've been getting is you're looking to get to know each other better and you want to connect with each other more. So we thought this would be a great chance to be your sounding board in a truest sense and have a chance for you all to connect, not just with us, but with each other, because what makes this group so valuable and so wonderful for everyone is the people in it. So might as well spend more time with each other. And we also know that everyone's a little zoomed out lately with all the online events. So this is a much more interactive way of spending an evening with us.
Yep, and we are going to be doing 2 times. We're going to be doing them at more accessible times that may not be date nights or, going out nights. So we're going to have 2 slots. It will be the first Tuesday of every month. We will have a 12 to 1 p.m. PST, which is 3 to 4 EST, I believe 7 p.m. GMT, so we can cover anyone in there. Hopefully I'm not butchering that, but it will be accessible for GMT listeners also, members of the community. And we will also have the traditional 5:30 to 6:30 PST or 8:30 to 9:30 EST slot. So we will have 2 options that allows for, more flexibility of what works for you, potentially smaller group sizes, also allowing people to access from all time zones. So we think this is a really big win of just having more of this time.
Yay. Wonderful. And then something else we're changing in the sounding board is the happy hours. We know a lot of you social butterflies love the happy hours. We thought that we would also iterate on what those happy hours are. So we've come up with a new name, and I'm going to say, instead of Janice came up with a new name for the happy hours. She deserves full credit for this, and I think it's genius. So Janice, take it away.
So we are now going to call them the sound offs. So the idea behind happy hour, obviously it was launched during a lot of the COVID lockdowns. I think everybody was in lockdown, and what we were craving most was social time. But things have changed in most jurisdictions, and what we have noticed is that it's evolved a little bit, and what people are coming for is information where we actually can do that deeper dig. And that's where it is kind of that therapy in the quotations marks, but we really want to actually dig into topics. So it's a little bit less social time, a little bit less of that let's play games, and a little bit more of what you all are really craving. So we noticed that the most popular one was actually the podcast discussion group. So what we've done for the sound offs, I think this is so exciting. We're now going to have discussion groups. So we have some amazing topics that are already picked out, and 2 hosts are going to host each weekly meeting. So, for example, on the 1st of September, we have when to DTR and to commit to a relationship, or how to ditch the checklist and find a partner. So that will be Shieldy and Brian. So if you are looking to jump into that conversation, that's going to be one that you want to mark on your calendar. Then there is, of course, because we don't want to lose that social time completely, we do have After Dark, but that will now be unhosted. So if you just want to come in and bring a drink and do really classic happy hour stuff, you can jump into that room. So then the next one is going to be approaching and being approachable in real life.
Ooh.
So that question comes up all the time, and we have 2 of our most amazing hosts at this very thing, Caitlin and Jason, who are hosting that on the 18th. I'm sorry, on the 8th. So put that one into your calendar if you want to hit that one. Then on the 15th, Tony and I are going to talk about the decision to have kids. So for those of you who know me, I have one. And for those of you who know Tony, he doesn't want a child. So we have completely different viewpoints, and of course everything in between that we can look forward to. Then the last one of the month is going to be setting boundaries in relationship, and that is Gisela and Ryan. So what we've done is we've paired people who have a little bit of expertise and a little bit of information about this topic, paired them together so that we can all sound off. So these are great topics for you to just dig into. It's not supposed to be super serious. It's not supposed to be like therapy, but it is supposed to be that deeper dive into that specific topic, and we can just have a group combo, and it'll be lots of fun.
Yep.
It may not be therapy, but it's therapeutic.
Yes, that's what
can
it
legally
is.
say that.
Therapeutic. That's a good way to put it. But just to also add some clarity, they will be at the same time as normal, 5:30 p.m. PST, 8:30 p.m. EST, till the same hour and a half typically that they run, and then After Dark will start at 7 p.m. PST, 10 p.m. EST, and we will be moving to Wednesday nights. And also, just to clarify too, the Sunday podcast discussion groups will not change. These are kind of maybe taking more form off the monthly challenge. So that will be kind of, evolved into these topics more. So there won't be an audio that we go off of, but there will be prompts that the host will put up as questions to start getting you thinking about this and having a conversation. So it's almost like you'd have to do less homework to come and enjoy these conversations.
So I think for these, what you're really going to want to do is just check out the schedule and then make sure that you're attending the ones that, and what we've tried to do as well is make them approachable, whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, so that there is something at every level of commitment, whether you're master dating or committed. I know we even have some married people in the group, so we've kind of run the spectrum. No matter where you are, there's going to be something for you.
Yep. And
Janice, do you have to pause every time you say master date too? I have to I always have to be like D or B? D.
Get the
D in this situation.
I think also just to add to, we're not going to be eliminating happy hours completely. The last Wednesday of every month, we will be doing the more traditional happy hour. We're going to see how this goes. If we see that attendance is much lower in this compared to these new weekly sound offs, then we may maybe make 5 sound offs or 4 sound offs depending on the month. This month in September, we actually get 5 weeks, so we're able to do it all. But that will be kind of TBD as we go. But for at least the short term, we're not going to get rid of them completely. We'll still give you the social outlet, whether that's coming to the last week of the month or also the unmoderated after darks.
These are all really exciting changes, and I'm sure you all have lots of questions. And one of them we've been getting is, what does this mean for me? Is anything changing? Am I paying more, paying less? Whatever tier you're in right now, whatever you're paying right now, it stays the same. It just means that this is a new iteration of the sounding board. Now, for anybody new coming in September, there's only going to be one price. It's higher than the prices that you all are paying. So it's great that you're all in it right now. The only difference would be if you are in the exclusive relationship tier, you still get the one-on-ones with Julie and I. So that continues, but that's not a service we'll offer starting in September for new folks. If you're already in there, you're grandfathered in, don't worry, that's not going to change. And if you're in the friends tier, the $8 tier, if you would like to have access to the office hours, coffee chats, the events that we're quote unquote calling them, or group therapy, you can upgrade to the next tier so that by September you don't have to pay that higher price, if that makes sense. So just upgrade to the friends with benefits tier, and then come September you'll be rolled into that one price for everyone, where you get to pay the lower price because you're already in the sounding board. If you all have any questions, obviously you can ask them in this group or DM us on Instagram. We're happy to answer any and all of your questions. But just so you know, whatever you're paying right now, whatever tier you're in, nothing's changing, except for it's just the events are a little bit different.
Yep. We are not, no one is leaving the sounding board unless, of course, you want to. That is your decision. At least from our side, we are not booting anyone out. We are not making anyone pay more money. It's more just moving forward, this is going to be. So if you do want to lock in those rates, like Yue said, we are going to have the opportunity to also do like one-on-one time with Yue and I for anyone that's like in the group sessions. That's like, I have something I really want to work through with you. So more on that to come, but that will also be accessible for anyone that's kind of in that mid tier that wants to, have that option.
Cool. Well, I guess we can't read minds, so we don't know if anybody has any questions. We'll just shimmy our way out of here. I guess that's the end of it. But we're so excited for the new rendition of the sounding board, to think in 10 years from now, you all are part of the founding members of the sounding board. It may look completely different by then. So thanks for coming along for the ride. Thank you, Janice, for helping us just really build this product and this community, because we're trying to get the best product out there for all of you. So thank you for doing that for us and being part of this team. And as always, we welcome feedback, because that's the only way we can improve everything for you all. But in the meantime, look forward to the new sounding board coming your way.
And if you are a new member, definitely stop by at least the first, office hours, because we can also answer questions of just like, what is the sounding board? And get to know us. Like, even if you don't have a burning dating question, I think it's a really good opportunity just to like start a connection with the two of us. And, Janice will usually be there, and you'll be able to meet Janice in all of the weekly sound offs. I love that name so much.
Such a great name. It's brilliant. Thank you, Janice. Cool, ladies. Shall we wrap this up? We're good?
Let's do it.
All right. On the count of 3, you know what we say.
Too?
We shimmy and we sing Stay Dateable together.
Yay.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Stay dateable.